It finally happened.
It finally happened.
We've finally happened.
A lovely guest on the show today, everybody.
Yay.
We love it. We love to see it. We're straight into it. Let's bring on the one and only Josh Snares.
Let's go.
Hello. Oh my god.
That's our sting.
Oh fuck. I do that every time. Wow, what a lovely guest theme.
I love it.
Let's go.
We love our guest theme.
Theme music.
You have hopefully heard of him. Heard of them. Maybe you haven't. Josh, we love to have you on the show. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
We've all been listening to your stuff, watching your stuff for so long, and I remember I showed Josh your work, Connor your work 2 or 3 years ago.
Right after we went to go see Women Who Fell to Earth at the cinema, and we went back to mine to record the first ever 50% episode from our shitty pilot series, and then
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah. And then afterwards, you showed me the it was the lake video, the video from the it was on under the cave where it was the
I think it
awful
was
production.
Oh my god!
You with your partner,
the Halloween one.
Yes,
that was it. That was so good. Yeah, and that's when that was my first Josh Snares video. So
yeah.
Oh my god! I've been here since the beginning of the podcast. Then
I know.
Haunting.
It was meant to happen. It was meant to be.
Yeah. You've got so much cool content out there, which is really great. I first started watching your stuff through the missing episode stuff, which is, I think, how a lot of people found your work, which is really cool. And I keep wanting Connor to watch it, but he's a classic Who hater.
I'm not the biggest classic fan, as everyone would know. I'm doing better. I mean,
Dipping in.
It was this year that we watched a few of the classics for the podcast.
Yes.
I hadn't done that before. So, I have been diving in a lot more into it. We're even reviewing a classic episode today. So I'm getting better.
Yeah.
I'm getting
You're
there.
getting there.
I'm getting there. I was more of a new Who fan, but I'm getting there with the classics. I definitely always wanted to dive into them. So, I'm glad that we are.
Speaking of which, today we're going to be talking about Attack of the Cybermen.
Let's go.
The good old-fashioned Colin Baker story, which, I don't know, I feel like this is the one I've been least confident you're going to like, Connor.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. Where do you stand with Attack of the Cybermen? Broad strokes, Joss.
I haven't fully figured out. When I watched it recently, I was like, I'm enjoying this a lot more. But I feel like where I am in my life right now, I've decided I'm just not going to hate anything anymore. Everything is just fine. Every episode of Doctor Who is just fine.
That's a fantastic
So I'm not the
place
best to be analytical today. I'm so sorry.
We love positivity. It's fantastic. I love that.
That's totally fine. I watched it when I got my set, season 22, 3 weeks ago. And to be honest, I kind of watched it and I was like, what did I watch? I finished it and I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So I rewatched it over the weekend.
Wow, so you actually watched it twice?
So I watched it twice.
Wow.
Damn, dedication.
Yeah, well, I was like, I genuinely have nothing to say about it unless I rewatch it because I had no idea what happened.
Yeah.
It just kind of all went over my head.
Yeah, I watched both parts today. I started it at lunch in my TAFE break and then finished it, today. So I watched 45 minutes episodes each, which is interesting because I was used to the 20-minute, 22, 25-minute, 4-part series that we did. So yeah, that was interesting. That was different. And also it's my first full Colin story.
Yes,
well.
okay. Yep.
So, and the first one we've done for the podcast as well. So there's that as well.
Yeah. I've seen through the collection, season 23, which I kind of struggle with. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this a lot more because it was kind of the trial stuff that was, I felt really holding it back. It was cool at the start and then it just kind of stayed in the same part.
Classic.
Yeah,
it was rough. It was rough.
Yeah.
Anyways, so we are the 50% Doctor Who podcast, joined by Josh, and you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at 50Doctor. Let's hear that lovely theme.
Let's go.
I really want to ask you what you think of this, Josh, because it's
50
podcast.
You kind of have to cringe in your boots a little bit. When you're with someone as amazing as Josh, you have to kind of cringe in your boots. So this is something that we created.
The first time you listened to Josh and you heard that atrocity come up, what did you think?
The first time I heard it, I was like, "Oh, this is done live," because I was just listening to the audio.
Right.
And then, as I went to watch more episodes, I was like, "Oh, they play it every time."
Yeah.
But I think it is perfection. I don't
you.
think you should ever change it. I
Thank
am
you.
going to be pre-ordering that vinyl.
Yes, the
As soon as it's
vinyl.
live, I'm gonna get it.
Finally.
There
We're
we
getting
go.
it. We're pressing it soon.
Limited to 7 copies.
7
One taken by
copies.
Josh, so there's
okay,
6
so
more
there's 6
available.
now. There's 6.
Yeah.
I actually kind of want to do that as like a fat meme. Actually just press
It's a
the
very
vinyl
expensive meme.
with, hey, you know what? I think that's great.
Sure.
That's something to keep for the rest of your life. I love it. We're getting the vinyl, peeps. We're doing it. We're doing it.
So, Attack of the Cybermen. It is the first serial of the 22nd season of the British science fiction television series Doctor Who, which was first broadcast in 2 weekly parts on the 5th and 12th of January 1985. It has a complex plot which
Crikey.
reiterates narratives from the 10th Planet and Tomb of the Cybermen, set in London 1985, and the planet Talos in the future. In the serial, the Cybermen intend to change the course of history to destroy Earth with Halley's Comet in 1985, which is, it's an interesting plot.
Definitely.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a
definitely.
bit bizarre.
It is.
Okay, we'll start with Connor, because Connor, you've not
Yeah.
seen any, like, Colin stuff. No context Colin.
Yeah.
What did you think?
Well, I actually, from what I'd seen, always really dug what Colin had like done with the Doctor. I always thought it was interesting, so going to that was really fun. And instantly when it started, and I didn't know, like, I've obviously heard like Perry and stuff, but I didn't like, whenever I jump into these episodes, the companion's always like new to me. So I already instantly thought their dynamic was actually really kind of wacky and fun.
Definitely.
And like when it started, I'm like, where's all the hate at? I love this. This is fantastic. Like he's trying to fix the chameleon circuit. That's so cool. And that's like the first time I've ever seen the TARDIS even change, like to fit with its surroundings. I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
And then I
yeah.
think I paused it like 20 minutes in to go back to TAFE. And I was like, what's the problem? This is great. And then I went back home and I finished it. And it just changes so quickly
Yeah.
to a really complex story. Like Mondas gets brought into it. The second part really kind of lost me as well. And it just got so convoluted to the extent like what you said. I was just like, man, I gotta admit, I don't know what is going on. Nor do I really care enough to try and find out. Like, I just didn't get it. But yeah.
I think the first
Yeah.
part's a lot of fun because there's all that, like, I think it's all shot on film, the location work and stuff. It all looks really nice.
It does, yeah.
And I don't know, it's really cool. But then when you get into them confined, just studio sessions, it's just, I don't know.
Which
I
is like,
struggle
yeah,
with those studio heavy
most of part two.
episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know. As a classic Who fan, Josh, how do you handle the studio stuff? Are you used to it? Do you just thrive in that?
I am a notorious person who hates standard definition. I hate the ugly videotape studio
Yeah.
stuff. I wish they shot all of Doctor Who on film. Like, look, I'm watching Spearhead from space. It's like, this is what Doctor Who could look like.
Yeah.
And I think, like, Russell T Davies said, like, ages ago about how, like, the reason why Star Trek, or the original stuff for Next Generation, the reason why that has lived on is because it's shot single camera, it's shot on film, and it holds up to a certain extent. It looks old, it looks vintage and retro, but Doctor Who looks cheap. And it makes the show look cheaper than it actually is, and which is embarrassing because it's so cheap as it is. So it's a bit rough.
Yeah.
I wish it was shot on location. I think it could have done a lot better, but yeah.
Yeah. It's so like refreshing when you get them classic stories that have so much location footage. Like I was watching Sharda a couple of weeks ago for the first time, and all that location footage they got on that is like so stunning, and it instantly, like, I don't want to say elevates the story because like the story is there on its own, but it makes it a lot easier to get invested.
Even like
in.
City of Death and stuff, like that was
That's stunning.
so great. Like I really loved that as like a story. And that was like all that Paris stuff was awesome,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you said you don't want to get too analytical, but Attack of the Cybermen, how are we feeling?
Yeah, look, I feel like with the Sixth Doctor and Perry, every story, they haven't really figured out what is their dynamic. How nasty is the Sixth Doctor going to be to Perry? How much is Perry going to put up with it? And I think in this story, they managed to balance it out really well because you got Eric Sayward, who wrote it, who's the script editor at the time. He had a pretty clear idea of what he wanted their relationship to be. And I feel like in this story, it works. And then in some writers, they're a bit nastier. Like, I think... Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it works in this one, but it doesn't always work.
Yeah, I was worried because I'd heard that Colin is not as great in his first season as he is in his second. I think, is that the general consensus online?
Yeah, I think people like it. I think people like their dynamic more in Trial of a Time Lord because at that point they made the conscious effort. Okay, we're going to be a bit nicer.
Yeah, okay.
And I think this is a similar critique that, Peter Capaldi and Clara get, where it's like they're being mean to each other, and sometimes it is horrible. I think they take it too far at times. Whereas I think I can watch The Sixth Doctor from a perspective where it's like, this happened before I was born.
Right.
There's no the show's going to get cancelled. It already did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that happened. So I think I can enjoy their relationship for what it is, if that makes sense.
It's interesting, I feel like, because, watching it today, like you just said, we knew it, we know it got cancelled and taken off the air. And I think I always knew that Colin's Doctor was always quite a controversial one. And then, even I'd heard so much about Perry, but I hadn't really seen her character. Even down to the accent. The accent was I didn't even know that was gonna be there, and that was cool. But yeah, it's interesting. Colin's Doctor is it's an interesting one. I can see why people didn't like him, but I think because I know him as an actor now and how nice and sweet and jolly he is, it really helps like his Doctor more. But
And I think he says a lot of stuff that's really harsh and kind of comes out of nowhere, but he always I don't know, he always seems to kind of end a conversation with a little bit of a smile, or there's just something he
brings
does
it back.
that I don't know, it doesn't make me not like him. Where you said, some parts of Pete, particularly in The Caretaker, where he's just
being
a nice person. It's just there's no logic there.
It is interesting, I think. I mean, I don't know. So Perry was discussing how he just recently regenerated. So was this story quite close to? Was it just the episode before the regeneration, or?
Yeah, it's a weird one where Peter regenerates in the second last story, right, of season 21.
Yeah. In case of Androzani, yeah.
Is there any reason why? Do you know?
For some reason, they thought it'd be a good idea to not wait a whole year for the audience to get to know the new Doctor, but
right.
it was I think it was a bit of a mistake because they were kind of, the last episode of the season usually is we've run out of money, and I think they needed some time to really figure out what they wanted to do with the Sixth Doctor before they kind of chucked in, because the Twin Dilemma. I think Colin Baker and Nicola Bryant are the best things about the Twin Dilemma, always. I think they're brilliant in their roles, but it's a bit of a rough story.
Yeah.
And I think if they had a bit of time, I think it could have been a lot better.
I say.
Interesting. And this shows how much research. I usually do the behind the scenes stuff, but I just have not this week. So, hi Josh,
Yeah.
the barrel of knowledge.
More and more these days, yeah.
The whole 45-minute format, do you know why that came about?
They did an experiment with it the year before with what's the Dalek story with Tegan where she goes? What's the name of that one? They all start with
I've
R.
not seen that one. I'm trying to think of Dalek.
Resurrection.
There you go.
Resurrection of the Daleks.
Right.
They did that because I think the Olympics was on or something, and they had to change the format in order to do it. I don't remember why. I wasn't born. I wasn't even thought of yet.
Yeah.
So it was a bit long ago. So for some reason they decided to do it for this season, but I don't know the actual reason.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's a weird one. And then the fact that they didn't stick with it, and I guess it didn't work maybe, but they revert back to the 25.
Right. So
afterwards.
is it just for the one season now, the 45-minute episodes? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's a really obscure one.
But I was wondering what they were gonna do with because with the say Sea of Death, for example, it had to every 20 or so minutes they had to lead up to a cliffhanger, and I feel I was interested to see how it would go writing wise, where they had to only do one cliffhanger and then the second part would just end and the story would end, because sometimes we would see that the cliffhangers just were kind of there just because they had to kind of fit something in to end that part.
Very forced.
Quite forced.
Yeah.
So I was interested to see how they dealt with that, and I guess that could be a positive for them. But Yeah, it's weird watching a classic episode which is the same length as a New Who episode.
Yeah.
That is kind of like that. It kind of took me a while to wrap my head around.
Yeah.
But
I saw that in some countries it was broadcast as 4 parts though. I think it like the first part ended with the Cybermen reveal or around that.
that's a classic like way to end a classic story.
Yeah.
The Cybermen get revealed,
Which
and then
was a cool scene. Like when when that door opens in the sewers and Cyberman walks out.
Right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they look great. Like I always love like the looking at the Cybermen. They got such funny voices, and there is always something to enjoy about like a classic Who episode. Like it's always a lot to take away
the
from it.
cyber controller though.
He's
What
a
was
chunky-
that, Luke?
He's a chunky boy. He's a chunky boy. I love it.
He's got like the head.
It's just
That's
great.
what's insane.
You gotta love it. It's just the voices as well are just so wacky. It's just great.
Horrific.
I love it. It's so good though.
Josh, I got some quick fire questions for you. We're gonna try. Well, whenever we
this
get
is
a
gonna
new
be
guest
fun.
on, well, hold on the segment for a second.
Right.
Whenever we get a new guest on, we like to ask, what brought you into Who?
Okay. So my introduction to Doctor Who is a bit weird. So I didn't watch Doctor Who first. I watched Torchwood first.
Ah.
And I watched Torchwood first because my mum was like, "You'd like this show." Weird suggestion for a parent to say they should watch Torchwood to like a teenager. But it was my mum's way of saying, it's like, I think you're kind of fruity, so you should probably tell us. This is my way of saying, look, we're cool with gay people. And so that was my entry into Doctor Who. And then I didn't know it was a Doctor Who spin-off for like the first 2 seasons until someone told me. So at school, and they said you should watch Doctor Who because it's a spin-off. And I was like, oh, I didn't even know that. So I watched Rise of the Cybermen, which was interesting.
Yeah.
I still don't like that story. But then I continued to watch it because I was a teenager with nothing else to do. And then somehow, here we are.
Yeah. Well, what brought you over to Classic Who then?
I was a big David Tennant fan. I was like purely only into the 10th Doctor. And then when Matt Smith came around, especially with like stuff like Victory of the Daleks and stuff like that, and they were saying, oh, it was a callback to Power of the Daleks, and that's when I found out about missing episodes, and then I started to be interested in the bigger story of Doctor Who. Because I feel like David Tennant's Doctor, who I love the 10th Doctor, he's my favourite because he's my first. Well, William Hartnell was my favourite, but we're not going into that. Let's not go into that. Basically, I feel like the 10th Doctor is very much like, I'm the Doctor, the rest of them don't matter. I'm the best one.
Yeah.
Sure.
He's a bit egotistical. And which I like about his character, but I think it can put you off exploring the bigger part of the show. But I feel like Stephen Moffat's era is very much like, you want to explore the rest of the show.
Yeah.
Is that a fair assessment? I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I get that.
because-
Yeah, that's it's a good point.
But I also think like, or maybe this is different because you didn't jump into Who when it was New Who when it was first coming out. With me, it was like, I think I was too young to kind of go into Classic Who. It's kind of weird because you'd feel like being young and watching Classic Who, you wouldn't notice, the dodgy production values in parts and stuff like that. But I think like all that stuff, whenever I watched it, it's still just the stories just went over my head of Classic Who. I just couldn't engage with it as a kid.
That's pretty much exactly what happened to me. Yeah, it's like, I mean, like, when I knew Classic Who existed, but I just had like I just didn't really want to, watch it. I mean, like, that's at least like how I got into it. I think it's the same with you. Like our parents were like, we used to watch it as kids. Like that's, you should try it, So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that didn't make me want to watch it at all.
Yeah.
The classic series, at least, not for a while.
It's bizarre. All of the sort of not predictions. What's the word like when you like judge something before you see it?
Like judging a bit by its color.
Well, like watching series 1, right, as a kid, I always thought that even though it's like the time was like recent history for Eccleston and stuff like that, and it's like a journey of like him getting over his kind of PTSD in a way.
Yeah.
It's like and I think you were as well, Connor, were under the impression that all of Classic Who was also set after the Time War.
I didn't even know
I did as well.
Rock Out.
That's so weird, hey?
Didn't know Gallifrey would show up as much as it did. Like, it's even weird watching, like, even like hearing like Colin's Doctor talking about like the Time Lords and all that, and like how the Time Lords wouldn't in this story that we were reviewing, like how they wouldn't be happy about it. It's like, it's kind of crazy how much they had an impact on like all the classic era, and then to jump into New Who and them just be gone all of a sudden.
Yeah, well, it's like in New Who, they didn't know what to do with them. Like,
Yeah.
Russell kind of knew, like, because he just, like, was like, oh, I just don't want them to be part
Now
of it.
they still
and then
kind of
it'll be a
don't know
big
what
thing
to
at
do
the
with
end.
them.
Well, because then, like, it was like Moffat brought them back.
Yeah.
And then, like, he brought them back, but Russell brought them back, and then Moffat kind of shoved them aside again,
and
then brought them back.
Sent away, and then
Chibnall
Chib did what? Yeah,
sent them away.
whatever that was. Yeah, they're now walking around as Cybermen.
I don't know.
Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's so interesting, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see if like, I don't even know if like Russell will even touch a Gallifrey story for a while. I think we might just get.
I know, and I think that's for the best.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's just so messy now, that whole
Yeah.
strand. I don't know.
I think this is the issue with like so many showrunners and so many doctors and so many like it's just it's completely lost its like idea of like, this is a TV show. It has to make sense to a viewer, whereas now it's like, oh, we're just going to make it up as we go along. It's whatever this showrunner's opinions are.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that can be a good thing. I think it could be a very good thing, because it means we can tell interesting and new stories and new perspectives. But also it's like my mum stopped watching Doctor Who ages ago. When Clara left, she was like, oh, but I love Clara. Because I feel like that's how most people watch a TV show. It's like, oh, my favorite character just died.
and then
Why
they
would I
leave.
watch
Yeah,
it?
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like Who sometimes, and maybe it's because we keep getting actors that get really big really fast and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I think a lot of the time Who's kind of scared to hold on to a character for like 4 seasons. You know, like
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all of the doctors. I think there's like debate about Capaldi, but all of the other doctors, it's been their decision in New Who to leave, right? I think. Because Chris definitely, and then David, Matt, and Jodie all kind of wanted to.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it's interesting, you know. And I also think like, and like the amount of people that I've spoken to now who want to jump back into Doctor Who again when they know that David's coming back is interesting. But like, you know, I've also been asking those same people like, do you think you'll stay on after he leaves? Because I think this is a really good time to jump on. But I think the idea of like 60 years of a show is a very scary like jumping on point for like a new viewer. As much as I want new viewers to jump on, it's also like, I understand why they'd be confused as hell.
Yeah.
And like, you know, they're like, how can I jump into a show that's been on for 6 years? Like this is like an old Doctor who's like, you know, David Tennant, or like if they jump on with Shooty's era, it's also like, it's hard. It's like, you know, and then it's like, you know, do they start with Eccleston's Doctor? Do they jump into classic Who? Like, where do they just watch the Doctors they want? It's hard to tell someone where to start to watch.
I think like my only hope, well, I got a lot of hopes for this new era, but like,
hell yeah,
I hope that they make the transition, the David to Shooty transition, like strong enough so that people don't you know, people don't just come back to watch David and then they stop watching. Like if they leave like a narrative thread or like introduce Shooty in the 60th specials with David somehow, like more than just a final scene, then I don't know, then people might be more encouraged to watch on. Yeah,
how excited were you that Russell was coming back? Like, are you really keen for it? Have you got a bit of worries or?
I've always been a big Russell T Davies fan. I really like what he does outside the show as well. And I think I'd be very surprised if he does exactly what he did 10 years ago. Or however long ago. Oh god, it was probably much longer than that.
I know, we're all
I'm getting old.
Yeah, literally,
You know,
it's so
like,
long ago.
I feel like he was on the top of his game back in 2005. And he's even higher now. Like, consistently doing incredible shows. So I think Doctor Who's in safe hands. But I have no idea what they're going to do. Absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
It's exciting, isn't it? Because I feel like no one really does know what they're going to do. But I feel like it's gonna surprise us in a really good way. And it's in really safe hands. Like, I feel like the show is in really, really safe hands. And I think we could get something really exciting and good here.
Yeah, and we know that like the best thing that Russell does is create like A, really good drama, and B, really good characters. The two kind of go hand in hand, really. So it's like, you know, we know we're going to get that. And so even if there is some flaws to it, I feel like that stuff's always going to be there. And that's what's super important to to all of us, I think.
Yeah, it's so exciting. I'm so keen.
I'm very keen.
We
Josh-
can't stop talking about it. That's how keen we are. Every damn week. I feel like we just repeat. I feel like we just repeat ourselves because we're just so keen for it. It's still so far away, but
So good.
it's so excited.
Josh, we have so a lovely segment is where I was getting to earlier.
Let's go.
And
Get ready.
we're trialing this for the first time, and you might want to, I don't know how loud this sting's about to be, so just brace yourself
Okay.
to throw your headphones to the side. But I'll,
Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster, 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 faster.
I love it.
everyone, welcome to Speedy
Love
Who.
Woo!
Whoa! Yeah, round of
Let's
applause.
go.
This is where we're gonna fire some quick fire questions at you, Josh, and we can
Okay.
find some. Afterwards we'll come back. We might circle back to a few of your answers. But yeah, super short questions. You've answered the first one already, which was favorite doc.
Oh, my favorite dog was William Hartnell.
There we go. Favorite food.
Donuts.
Wow, I love it. Favorite non-Who TV show.
Ooh.
Oh.
It's a deep thought. That is a deep thought.
I guess stereotypical Drag Race, I guess.
I love
Yeah,
it.
love it. Love it. I've watched a few. Last episode of Who you watched.
Oh, I just watched The End of Time, part 1
Oh.
and 2 last night.
Wow.
Very
okay.
good. Very good.
I love it.
Classic or new Who?
Classic Who.
A movie or TV show you watched recently and loved.
Stranger Things.
Very good. I agree. You need to watch it, Connor.
Sorry, everyone.
Best film you've watched at the cinema this year.
Best thing I've watched in the cinema this year.
Yeah.
I've only seen The Batman. That's the only thing I've seen in the movies. It was good.
Very
Right.
good. Very good. An episode of Who that you love but no one else does.
The Haunts of Nymon.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
much fun.
An episode of Who you hate but others love.
Damn, that's hard.
It's a toughie. We can come back to it.
Maybe I'm just gonna do Blink. I
Blink?
think it's overrated. But I think that's not even a hot take.
That pain.
I'm sorry.
A one-word hope for RTD2.
One word hope.
Yeah. What do you want for Ross's
Oh.
new era in one word?
Oh, the Nissa Adventures. Come on. I want the stupidest spin-off. Give me one really stupid spin-off that no one could possibly want. That's what I want.
Yeah. Silly stuff. I
Right.
love it. What's an episode of Who that always makes you laugh?
The Haunts of Nymon. We're gonna keep talking about Haunts of Nymon. It's the new Haunts of Nymon.
We're gonna
podcast,
come
so-
back to that. Don't worry. All right. Favorite TARDIS team or duo?
Oh. The 10th Doctor and Donna.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. And you've got 1 hour to live. You don't want to see your family, your friend. You don't want to live life. You want to watch an episode of Doctor Who. What is it, and why is it the Haunts of Nymon?
I'm actually going to say the Daleks Master Plan because it goes for 5 hours, which means somehow I'm going to hack the system
You
and I
have.
get to live for 4 hours longer.
Good
Wow,
job.
love
You just
it.
hacked the system.
Look at that.
Incredible.
Wowee.
So the Haunts of Nymon, that is that's the last one of 17, right? Before Sharda?
It is. Which
Yes.
you mentioned me in that podcast recently where you said Josh is screaming at the screen. I was actually
Yes,
saying
I did say that. Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Yeah, good.
And I was
I'm
like,
glad.
yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
You
Thank
got
you.
me.
Thank you.
It's
Thank you.
true.
Yeah, because I think I struggled with it at the start. I think it was one where I didn't watch part 1 properly and then watched like part 2 and was like, I have no idea what's happening. Similar to Attack of the Cybermen.
Yeah.
I'm just a shit viewer,
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah.
But so I went back and rewatched it from the start, and yeah, I thought it was funny. Like the
Yeah.
boys walking around like doing all this shit. Like it's fun. Connor has no idea what we're talking
No.
about.
I was just like, what the hell is this? Oh, God. I
The
love
Haunted Nymon is so weird because, like, the first half. The reason why the Haunted Nymon is actually kind of excellent is because it's not a Doctor Who story. It's a Romana story. Romana is playing the Doctor, and the Doctor's just kind of hanging out having a laugh.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you've got these ridiculous Naimon, and everyone just has no idea what's going on. The costumes are a mess.
Yeah.
There's like a guy who rips his pants. You've got this incredible speech. Because like, even think about that famous speech. Like, it's Romana doing the Doctor's speech.
Yeah.
Romana's the one calling him out, and she's the meddlesome hussy, not the Doctor. It's just, it's incredible from beginning to end, and I love it.
Yeah.
So much fun.
This is the one that I was saying where like the first two parts, it's just the Doc like just doing nothing on the TARDIS, and K9 like blows up and he mouth to mouths K9.
Mouth to K9,
and
yeah.
it's so fun. It's so like
There is like
So
this,
fun.
that's
Very
what's so
silly.
good about Classic Who is I feel like there are so many episodes that like I'm yet to experience and watch, and like we can do it for the show and stuff, and there's always like so many fun stories just to to jump onto. I mean, I'd love to watch that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. Like, what would you say? What would you say is like the perfect jumping on point for Classic Who? Like, if you could pick an episode for someone who hasn't seen Classic Who before, what would you pick to like watch first?
I think weirdly, and I think a lot of people, I know Ellie has said this, the Five Doctors is the perfect jumping on. Because
Okay.
it's like a little like,
I haven't seen that yet.
a like tasting platter of everything. And you'd be like, oh, I like this and that and the other thing. Because that was the first one I watched.
okay.
Okay.
Because of Time Crash, because it was Peter Davison. So I was like, oh, Peter Davison's like the 10th Doctor. So I'm going to watch that. And I feel like it's a good, it's just a bit of everything.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Because I sort of introducing Connor to it, we did the Three Doctors, which I thought is probably, kind of similar, but obviously
Yeah, we started
Two
with the
less
Three
Doctors.
Doctors, which was really good. Yeah, we wanna watch that. I'm also really interested to watch that episode with is it Patrick Troughton and Colin?
Two Doctors. Yeah, that's in this
I
season.
really would like to watch that at some point. I mean, I might, I might actually just like watch some like without even like reviewing it on the show.
I'll
but I
believe
mean
it
to
when
go
I
there.
see it.
I
You're
need
not
to
going to
get
do
there.
that.
We were gonna do the Silurian story, not Silurian stories. We're gonna do the Sea Devils
Yeah, right. We
stories,
never got
but
to
we
it.
never got around to doing that, which I wouldn't mind checking out at some point. But
Yeah, we can do that.
you're right. I probably never will do it, but yeah, I think that would have been a really good time. That's how originally I wanted to get Josh on the show. Was
Yes.
I was messaging around Easter saying like you should come on and do the Sea Devil stories. But yeah, that would be really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in that kind of stuff. But a lot to watch.
Yeah.
But we'll get there one day.
Yeah. Can you, Josh, pitch to Connor, who is just so apprehensive about watching Stranger Things 4?
Oh God.
Can you just like in a few sentences get Connor to watch it? If you
Okay.
get him to watch it, then I'll be blown away.
Yeah, go on. It's going to be hard to convince me.
I think there's a lot of hype around it. Is the hype justified? Maybe. I think what it is it seems it seems really daunting because the episodes are so long, and they are overlong. They need to be edited down. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
at some
big time.
points. But I think everything that people say about Stranger Things, that it's nostalgia bay and it's all this and that thing, I think is just kind of like weak. I don't believe that to a certain extent. I think there are moments where they do a bit of references and stuff like that, but it's not the cake of the thing. It's like barely even icing. It might be sprinkles. It's barely even there. They have a story to tell, and it's interesting and it's fun. But yeah, there is a lot of characters. I don't know. I'm not the person to say you should watch Stranger Things, because I'm personally of the opinion anyone can make up their mind whatever the hell they like. But the reason I watched it was because everyone said I look like Steve from Stranger Things. And I
see
do.
it.
And that's why I watched it, because I want to be in on the joke.
Yeah, you do. That's
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I feel like I said this on the show before. I feel like when people tell me to like watch something, it makes me not want to watch it. And now it's like a
Yes.
good running gag. Even like Dylan messaged me though. It's like Aiden's obsession with Stranger Things is weird. And I'm like, it is weird. It is weird. It's very strange. So like I
got on
like
the
to be a
hype.
snob. I like to be a snob. I mean like I that's my thing. I guess like I'm a bit snobby when it comes to TV shows and movies, and I got like a bit of a persona to keep on the show, and that would be my
Sure.
thing. I mean, I watched the first
your character.
3 seasons. Yeah, my character. This is my character arc. Okay.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah.
need to progress that arc by watching it.
season 4. I've seen the first 3 seasons, and I liked them.
Yeah.
I never really got the hubbub though. I
Sure.
never really got like what was
that's
so amazing about it. And again, when everyone starts to watch something, it kind of turns. It's like when like Squid Games was the fucking shit last year. Everyone was like
Yeah,
talking
I
about it and
struggled.
watch it. And if you didn't watch it, it's like, what's wrong with you? You haven't seen it yet?
Yeah.
Loser. Go
Yeah.
watch it. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll go home and watch it now. And you kind of feel like you have to like watch it because it's what everyone is talking about.
Yeah, I like foreign films
Yeah.
and stuff, but I just something about Squid Game I couldn't.
Drive
I think
my
I did
car.
most of it, but I didn't finish it. All right, so we round back to Attack of the Cybermen at some point. I feel like we've we've forgotten about this one.
Wait, so we're not talking about the Horns of Nine?
Oh, sorry. No, we can
Sorry.
talk about the Horns of Nyman. Sure, we can do it.
50%. That's what we do.
So, okay, there's this character in Attack of the Cybermen, and I assume it's because he's from probably that Dalek story that you mentioned.
Yes, he is. He's in Resurrection. Resurrection of the Daleks?
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
who's this fella?
Lytton.
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I want to know, Connor, what did you think of Lytton? Because you didn't know who he was, unless you have seen Resurrection of the
God, no, yeah. I was like, who is this person? I mean, like, you know, when I'm watching Classic Who, I'm used to kind of just being confused and, like, scratching my head the whole time. But yeah, I was like, okay, that's kind of cool. He must have been in, like, another episode, but I didn't know what Doctor it was or what season. But yeah, they mentioned the Daleks a fair bit, so I was like, okay, it must just be a Dalek story. So yeah,
Yeah.
if that's correct.
I've not seen that either, so it was a...
Right.
Yeah, I felt the same. It was interesting.
Oh, okay, so yeah, Lytton's brand new to both of you. Okay.
Yes,
He is.
yes.
Yeah.
He seemed cool, though.
Basically, Lytton worked with the Daleks. That's all you really need to know.
What
Sure.
Doctor was it for
And he
Peter
lived.
Davison?
Fifth Doctor.
Okay.
Yes, it was Peter Davison, yeah.
All right. Yeah, well, that was interesting. But yeah, I was like, I literally do not know what the hell was going on. But yeah.
Yeah. Is that 20 or 21?
21.
Okay.
It was Tegan's last story, so 21, yeah.
Huge. Because I've only seen the collection episodes and a couple of the animations.
Oh.
And
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that didn't really help with my like confusion with the episode per se, where I was like kind of struggling to understand really what was going on, and then that got added on top.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I didn't really, get it, but
You know what was like a really silly thing that kept happening every time? Like every time a Cyberman wanted to kill someone, that just like...
yeah, I love it. It's so
That
good.
was harder than they did it, to be honest. Like that was a thud.
All this green goo is like coming out of them, they getting
Yeah.
shot. A lot of Cybermen getting shot in the face. They take a
Yeah.
helmet and chuck it on someone.
Mm-hmm.
That whole like subplot on that planet, I just
Telos.
don't.
Is that right? Telos?
I didn't. I
Telos,
thought-
yeah.
I thought you were saying tell us, and I'm like, I am
tell
telling
us about it,
you. I'm
Connor.
telling you right now. I just didn't. I did not get it. I just didn't get it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a classic
And
Who hater.
though,
clearly.
what are they called? Them fugly ass like that do this shit. What are they called?
That was
Them-
strange.
The
They like got glitter all over them, and
yes.
Oh, the Cryons.
That's it. The Cryons. Yeah, they are a thing. That's a good recreation.
it's so odd.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were like didn't you tell me this was the same writer as Earthshock?
It is, yeah. Well, it's up for debate, but
Okay.
it is Eric Saywood. So it's credited for Paula Morsley or something like that. But basically, it was written by Eric Saywood, but because he was script editor, he can only write one episode a season, and he was doing Revelation of the Daleks for the finale of that season.
I see.
Sure.
So he wrote this episode, but Ian Levine claims that he wrote the episode.
Ah.
Because all of the continuity stuff with Tomb of the Cybermen and that, he gave him notes about that and he did research. So he thinks he's entitled to a credit of the script. But Eric disagrees heavily with that. And but I believe it's Eric Saywood through and through because it feels like a script from him.
Damn.
Yeah, so do you like Earthshock?
I do like Earthshock. I think the thing about Eric Saywood's writings, it depends if you're into like action and gore and aggressive violence, which it's very un-Doctor Who.
Yeah.
His writing is very,
Yeah.
very different. And I like it because it's refreshing and different. In the same way, like I like Stephen Moffat's writing because it doesn't feel like anyone else is writing it. It feels like Stephen Moffat's writing. I think Eric is exactly the same. And I think Earthshock is full of shocks and twists. Or it's in the name, isn't it?
And Earth.
So I think it's fun, but I don't know if is this the type of Doctor Who it should be every week? Probably not. I don't really want the Doctor shooting someone all the time.
Yeah.
Which is a common.
Yeah, it's interesting you
phrase.
say
I
that.
heard
Yeah.
like quite a few episodes of season 22 kind of go a bit violent. Is that a fact?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Definitely for sure. Yeah, I think there was a lot of criticism for how violent Doctor Who was during this period, and I don't get bothered by it because obviously I like horror movies and stuff like that, so it doesn't even faze me in the slightest. But I guess it probably would have been shocking for kids back then, and it's really open to like if this is the type of thing you're into or not.
Yeah.
It's a lot. I guess there's a lot of like there was a lot of I'd say a lot, not really, but for Doctor Who, a lot of blood in this episode.
Yeah.
Hands.
The
when
hands.
They go red.
And like the snapped neck, like I just said then, like the goo coming out of all the Cybermen, like the green goo, smashing off Cybermen's heads. Yeah, I noticed that as well, where I felt like, you know, the show was maybe trying to go down like maybe a bit more of a darker route because it was maybe running out of like ideas, running out of steam a little bit. Maybe like, you know, they were trying to introduce maybe like get a new audience. Maybe it was definitely interesting, yeah, because like. I'd heard so much about Earthshock, and were you similar? You didn't love it? Didn't hate it? But
I like Earthshock. I feel like I like it better every time as well.
Okay, yeah, because I feel like Earthshock was like, it was almost like, to me, it was like that was like the classic episode to like watch.
Yeah.
So I think I had like that hype for it, and then went in and was just like, yeah, this is all right, you know.
Yeah.
But
interesting. Yeah. You know, in this episode, one thing that like was so jarring every time it happened. Like, there's some nice bits, but the score is most like.
I love Classic Who's score. So good.
Hate it.
And there's that sequence at the start, like they show the cops and that score plays, and then they cut to like Colin and Perry, and then it will just cut to one shot of the cops, and it will just go dow. Like it's so like silly. But yeah, I love it. I think it's funny.
Yeah, Classic Who's score is like so interesting.
But like the Halley's Comet theme, that was really nice. That was like kind of this lovely sci-fi.
And it got set up at the beginning, and I like how like it came back near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just such an interesting story. Like, even on the back of the box set, it's got like is it like a cupboard? What the top? It's almost like a cupboard that like what the TARDIS turns into. That is that is so interesting and wacky and cool. And like even I love Doctor Who. I didn't even know there was an episode where the TARDIS like changed.
There you go.
To fit with the surroundings, and
I
thought that was awesome. Yeah, the fucking piano, so good. I love it. Wow. Yeah, that's great. Like, I know. Yeah, I do. Why? So, like, what was Colin's Doctor like? Would you guys say, because you know more than me, was Colin's Doctor, you think, like the start of the steady decline because his Doctor was so different to everyone else?
It's hard because at the time the show was still being watched. People liked what they were doing. And then all of a sudden, it was on a hiatus because the BBC decided it was shit. So then, because the media is saying, "Oh, Doctor Who's in danger," it's fledgling in ratings, which wasn't true, and so people start to think, "Oh, this show is bad." And I think we're seeing a similar thing with Jodie Whittaker's Doctor, because you know, obviously there's accusations of it being woke and stuff, but every single television show is doing that. A woman appears like, "Oh my god, terrifying." You know, so I don't think Doctor Who is isolated in that. But I think if the media keeps saying this show is bad, this show isn't what it used to be, people are going to start believing it, especially people who aren't watching it.
Is that when Doctor in Distress came about?
Yes.
Love it.
Yes, it did.
Love it. Have you seen that, Connor?
No.
Oh,
so that was in
that?
between. Yeah, so after Revelation of the Daleks that came out. Yeah.
You are in for a treat, Connor. You're going to go home.
Is that a classic story? You could say that.
It's a classic.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
It's a classic. Just type up Doctor Who, Doctor in Distress. They used it again recently, didn't they, at some charity, like Red Nose Day or something?
About this. Is that like that unofficial like collaboration story with all the doctors?
No.
Okay.
Are you thinking of Dimensions in?
Probably.
Yeah. That's what
Probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm keen to watch that one day, but that's a different story.
You gotta love a show at 60 that like has so much history, and that's what I love about Doctor Who so much. Is that it has such like it's so vast and different in different eras, and that's what's just so great about it. I think like even if you don't love an era, I think there's still always something in it that you can read. Like What are your thoughts on like the controversial Chris Chibnall era? Because I always love talking to people about that. Like, did you enjoy it?
I'm not a huge Chris Chibnall fan. I don't like his writing. I think it doesn't speak to me. I think Jodie's done a fine job with what she's been given, and there's been a lot of episodes I like. Like I love The Witchfinders. I think it's probably one of the best episodes.
Yeah, cool.
And I was rewatching The Halloween Apocalypse recently, and I was like, this is just good.
Loads of fun.
Really
Yeah,
good
Flux is
Doctor
really
Who.
fun.
And I think there's, with every era, there's good and bad. And I think we're finally getting to the point where, Chris Chibnall is now gone. And now it's a time we don't have to worry about ratings. We don't have to worry, is the show being cancelled? We can look back and think, we like this bit, we didn't like that bit, let's move on.
Yeah.
We have peace with it now. We found peace as fans.
Yeah.
That's so
I'm
true.
finding parts that I really enjoyed. Like I really enjoyed Fugitive the Jadoon. I love Joe Martin. I think there's been a lot of good in there, but of course there's a lot of bad, like in every era.
Totally.
That's so true about it knowing that it's now like not it getting cancelled and it's got a new showrunner. I really do think I can look back on the era now and think, okay, yeah, like you just said, like this is what I like, this is what I didn't like. And I think rewatching it, knowing as well, will really help me enjoy it more. Because I was similar to you, I didn't feel that connected to it, but I think I haven't really even given it a chance of a rewatch.
Yeah.
So when we eventually get to it, well, we got 2 more seasons of Capaldi, and then we'll do it on the show. And I think I haven't even given it a chance of a rewatch. So that would be. I'm interested to see, because you've always enjoyed it more than me, but I think we might be on the same level.
Well,
time.
yeah. I mean, I don't love it. I totally agree with the whole disconnect. Like, I'm not connected to it as I am with other eras. But yeah, I don't know. I still find bits that I enjoy weirdly, and this is why I'm like, maybe in time the whole era I might feel this way about it. But series 11, for some reason, I've suddenly the last like 6 months started to feel weirdly nostalgic over. I don't know. There was so much hype being like, oh, you know, Jodie's gonna be great, which she's awesome, and yeah, because we were big fans of Broadchurch, but before Who and before he was announced, so we were kind of like, oh, it's kind of similar with Russell now. We're like, it's in such safe hands. It's gonna be
we were
fantastic.
very excited.
And yeah, he's done a fine job. He's done a totally fine job. He's just not necessarily taking it into crazy.
Would you say you're excited for the centenary special this October?
I've decided not to get my hopes up. I think Legend of the Sea Devils really upset me.
Yeah.
Silly to say, but I was really excited to see the Sea Devils return.
Yeah.
And then I was just, from the very beginning, I was like, oh no, where are all the shots?
Yeah.
You just knew there's like 10 minutes of footage missing. And it's just like, was this cut out, or did they just not get it in the can? I think they didn't get it in the can.
Yeah.
Because it's just a mess. But I think in 10 years' time, I can sit back and laugh with it and think, oh, this was funny, this is silly, and I can enjoy it for what it is. So, but the Centenary special, 90 minutes, that's
Very
got a bit of
cool.
breathing time.
Big
And I
time.
think maybe it'll work better but it's got the trademark bits I don't like about Chris Chibnall, which is there's a million characters and they're all running around and they're not really doing anything.
Yeah.
And I'm really concerned that Tegan and Ace are going to be there, going to shoot a Dalek, and then we're just not going to see him ever again.
Yes.
Or they're
Yeah.
going to stand in the background like Kate Stewart in Flux and just like twiddle their thumbs.
Yeah.
Do you,
Like,
do
what
you
else
get
do you
really
do?
excited when you see like someone like Ace and Tegan coming back, or do you get like really nervous that their characters are gonna like not be written well or done justice to, you know, what they were like in the classics?
I'm going to enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Which is a nice way of saying I have no faith. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's just silly old Doctor Who. And it's like we said, you know, Chris Chibnall has left now. That's in the past. So I'm just going to enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
like
who knows? It might be great. It could be great.
Yeah. I think it's got more chances than kind of ever of being really great and balancing the hundreds of things that are going on because of that 90-minute runtime.
Yeah.
That is cool. That gives me hope. The whole 90-minute thing is actually, I think we've said a lot, like really cool and awesome. And I'm really glad the BBC let them do it.
Yeah.
And I think it's a respectful way to end like the Chibnall era, which was quite short compared to what we got with other like, you know, showrunners and stuff. And I think Jodie deserves like a 90-minute special to finish up on.
For sure.
But it's just like we've. I just really, unfortunately, I just don't think like I think everyone is quick to say that like when Russell comes back, like all the fans are going to rejoice and we're all going to hold hands and run off into the sunset. I think it's going to get worse because people people think that Russell coming back, like it's going to be. I mean, from what we've already seen already, it's already making people go crazy, which is a horrible thing to see. God knows what's going to happen when it actually comes out, and people are like, "How dare they do this to my show?" I would love to see us all be happy, but I don't know if it's going to be. I think Twitter's already a shit show. I reckon in 2023, I reckon it's going to be an absolute war zone.
The worst thing is the comment section on our like clips and stuff that were released from the episodes.
Oh God,
is that they're just a statement about like something being terrible about
90% of the time it's just something that's
totally. They're just like
I
don't know. They're just like pointless comments that are just like statements just for the sake of like.
It's hard to see. It's hard to see because like, everyone's coming from like everyone just loves the show, but it's like there are just those people who really just like have that need to state their like bogus opinion and like make it so loud that it's like. But when you do stuff like that, it's like. You're like killing the show. You're ruining it for other people. It's just it's weird that like it's sad that the clips just get all kinds of comments and it's just it sucks. It really does. Like I don't know.
Yeah,
fans kind of suck sometimes.
Some of them are like really. There's some that are like not to be biased or anything, but Jodie's just a bad doctor, and I look and it's like some white man. And I'm like,
I'm not biased at all.
It's very silly. And the ones that made me laugh as well is like Rip Doctor Who 1963 to 2017. But they actually, like, I know that's like kind of a meme now. And so when people say it like seriously, it's so dumb.
So funny.
Yeah.
It's
like Michael McGrath, that's his name. I know his name, Michael McGrath. I've had that comment so many times. So funny. Doctor Who 2012, 2017 to whatever it was.
I'll have to check. I don't know. I can't remember who it was. But
how do you deal with, would you say like, I mean we're talking about a clip that maybe gets like one comment. It must be hard to receive quite a lot. Does that get quite stressful at times for you?
It took me a long time to really like deal with it. It's very strange going from tweeting something and no one even looking at it to getting like a lot of reaction for just saying anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm constantly on my toes and I'm constantly like trying not to upset people because I don't want to upset people. I don't want to be one of those YouTubers who is making like, this is why Doctor Who sucks and you're an idiot for watching it. Like, I'm all for criticism. I love criticism. I think we should be critical of our favorite television show, but I feel like it should come from a place of love. And when I joke about the show, it's definitely from a place of love. Like, I will say The Haunted Nine-One is shit, but I say that because I think it is shit, but I also love it.
Yeah.
I love this silly show. I love when it's good and I love when it's bad. But I feel like some people just want the show to be cancelled and they want the show to end and then they feel like, I've won this silly little battle. And I'm like, what's the point of this? But yeah, YouTube comments, I never remember the good ones. I remember all the bad ones. I remember every single thing anyone's ever said bad about me and I remember them all the time. And I will never get used to it. And that's okay. That's life. That's... and I think we need to be more honest about it. And I don't know, being a creator is weird, but that's why I don't really want to be a YouTuber full time because I don't think I can handle it. No way in hell.
Yeah.
That
was a great answer. It was a very good answer.
It must be, it must be like, it's interesting, like, when you create something that you're so like, for you, like that you're so proud of and like people love, but also it's that other side that comes with it, which can be so toxic and negative and affect you so much, and to the extent where you're sometimes like, why do I even like, should I even bother doing this, like something that I really enjoy? Like, that must be hard. Like,
big question, Josh.
Mm-hmm.
The centenary. Are we gonna see David? Are we gonna see Shooty? Are we gonna fade to black? What's the big prediction?
I'm in too much. I've got like a whole bunch of different theories.
Mm-hmm.
Either because they keep saying they're filming scenes, which is vague. It's
Yeah.
intentionally vague because they want Doctor Who fans to be nut jobs like me. So, is this a continuation of the show? Is Jodie going to regenerate to David Tennant or Shooty? Or is this going to be something like how Disney are doing at the moment, where there's an Obi-Wan series? Is this going to be a 10th Doctor series? Is it going to be a mini-series of just these 3 episodes with just them, and it's a part of a wider 60th anniversary? Or it's not part of Doctor Who, it's a spin-off. And then, so Jodie's going to regenerate into Shooty. Or is this like a weird parallel universe? I think there's just so many questions, and I'm not sure where the right answer is, but I think Donna Noble being a part of it is the key.
Yes.
I think there's something about her. Because if David Tennant is the 14th Doctor, why would he go back to Donna? That makes no sense. Because if it's the Doctor, they haven't seen Donna for like thousands of years.
Right.
It makes no sense. It would make more sense for David Tennant to go back and find Clara or someone, because that's more recent in his timeline. So why would he go back to Donna?
Yeah.
So
And I
that's-
suppose it's one of those things as well. Does he intentionally run into Donna, or is it like maybe a by chance thing?
Unintentionally, or that like or like we keep saying, like a different parallel universe, because Russell did parallel universes in his series quite a lot.
Yeah.
I think it could be possible that
And
we actually get that parallel.
Flux kind of acts as like a neat transition into that as well.
Yeah,
the whole like
definitely.
division being between the universes.
I know, because we thought that would be, and it might be used in the centenary. We don't know, but like
Yeah.
I think that could be a possibility, because there are, like, exactly right. It's interesting, like, why Donna is in it. It could be as simple as like running into her. It could be like that, but also it's like, yeah, there are a few things that don't add up. He's doing it so well as well, Russell. Like, he clearly is like the king of marketing. Like, he knows people are gonna non-stop talk about it.
Yeah.
He gives you just enough that you don't know what's going on,
Without
but
spending
enough
a
to
dime
speculate.
as well.
Without a dime, just
Like-
enough to speculate. And
Yeah.
idiots like us sit here talking about it for hours,
How
and
many
it
times have
probably
we
is
spoken about
never
this?
gonna
It's
happen.
like-
Literally, I
yeah.
feel like I'm a broken record every week coming in here. You just twist me up when I talk the same shit every week. I just feel like I can't.
But it's
talk about
impossible
it.
not to talk about it. It's
Yeah.
impossible not to.
I
It's like
know.
people, it's like, oh,
So
it's
exciting.
disrespectful to Jodie. And it's like, we were doing the same thing with Matt Smith, but it's impossible not to talk about this.
Yeah.
It's impossible not to. You can't.
Yeah.
Because it's so insane.
It is exciting. And we don't even have like a name for the centenary. They need to give us some more shit for that. I feel
We
like
do need that. We need a name.
We don't have a
very soon,
name.
I think.
What's so secretive?
Yeah.
Give us a name. We don't even have a date either. If it's October sometime,
Yeah.
could be on my birthday. I'm
I
excited for that. If it's on my birthday, I'm like, let's go. I'll
I
be keen
did
for that.
say like a long time ago on the podcast, maybe a few months ago, that if they market it as like the centenary special or something, like it's a bit weird, but it's fine. But maybe there's like a cool title for the episode that kind of spoils something in the pre-title sequence. So I don't know. This is
What?
really
So
jump
you don't
theory.
know it until it.
until it actually
airs?
Yeah,
That could be
which
cool.
would be like a weird thing, but I don't know.
That could be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Yeah.
I could see Chibnall's always been like someone to do something completely different to what other people of other showrunners have done, and I like that about him. Even though I don't agree with everything he's done, that could be something that he would do.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a wacky generation too. I can just see that happening.
Yeah, it's gonna be stunning, like we said. Yeah.
Yeah, if it's David or Shooty or whatever, but it is far too like exciting not to talk about. You're right. It is an exciting time to be a Doctor Who fan. I'm kind of nervous though. I'm kind of. I mean, like we were talking about because we went to go see Doctor Who in the Dark to the theater. You missed it because you got COVID, which is a shame.
I had
I'm
COVID.
really sorry
I'm
about that.
so upset.
It was
I know,
It was
that
a life
would've been-
dream
that would've
to go
been
see it on the
awesome.
big screen.
Yeah, we're really hoping that we get some like some cinema shines. Even if they release like the centenary at the theater, I'd definitely go see that.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
There was like a rumor, but it totally could just be a rumor, like a bullshit rumor.
I love going to see the theater. Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's
so
great.
fun. So like, I really hope they do some more like theater releases for just the 60th or like the centenary. Like that could be great. It shows it works because people wanted to go and see the 60s movies.
Yeah, it'll be even bigger.
It'd be even bigger. Yeah,
more
like
people
so. I just hope they I hope they do that.
Because I remember the woman who fell to Earth screening we went to was literally like fully packed out.
Yeah, it was-
like
it was
a
full.
packed
Wow.
cinema, which was
Yeah.
great, and it was a big cinema as well. It wasn't
was
like
big.
the small ones that they shoved us nerds off into. It was
Yeah.
like a really big one.
Get them out of the way.
Which
Yeah,
is
it was a big theater, but Yeah, I really hope they do that. But
Yeah, I hope so.
yeah.
Have you had a lot in the past in Adelaide? I know you got these these movies there, but have you had any of the other like episode screenings there?
The last one I went to was to see Deep Breath.
Okay. Yep.
Right.
And I saw the 50th. I saw Power of the Daleks, which was rough
Yeah.
to see that in a cinema setting. 6 episodes is a lot in one go. I think they did Sharda here, but I didn't see it.
Okay.
Wow.
And I don't know if they did Jodie's first episode here, but I don't really interact that much with Adelaide Doctor Who fans that much. I'm not on their radar. I don't know who they are. I haven't met them. I don't really go to conventions and stuff, so it's more people I talk to online.
Yeah. No, we're kind of the
yeah.
same as well. Hey, I don't know anyone.
Yeah. Do you think if you rocked up to a show in at like the theater, everyone would like be like, "It's Josh"? I reckon people would. I reckon people would know you. That would be scary.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
That would
like
be
going to the
scary.
theater knowing that people were there who like watch my videos and would like want to run over and be like, "Hey, how's it going?" That would kind of like freak me out a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've been to a convention before and I've been around Doctor Who people and no one talked to me or anything. So I don't think I'm on anyone's radar.
Really?
I don't think I'm
What?
famous or anything.
I think
I don't
for
think
us,
people know who I am.
it's just because we've like loved your stuff for so long. I feel like in our head, you're like this, like
Yeah.
huge Who figure.
Yeah. Look, the Doctor Who community fans make me laugh so much. Like, I love them. They're just so whack. We're all weird hermits, and we all come from different like corners of the earth. And I just like the theater experience we had last week was hilarious. And like we kept joking like, "Oh, fan meet up." Literally, like knowing that no one on God's green earth is ever gonna come. Even if they did know us, even come over and want to say hi to us.
Yeah.
We're just like hilarious. And we were just like joking about that shit.
I was talking to someone on Twitter that was there though.
And where was that?
After.
Come over and say hi. Hey, come get a photo with your favorite Doctor Who podcast.
I think they saw the tweet that we went.
Oh, okay.
And yeah.
They're like, these huge. Would you ever start a podcast, Josh? Like a Doctor Who podcast or anything else?
I don't have the... I'm not good at week to week or month to month things. I'm a bit loosey goosey with my schedule. If it starts being like, oh, this is something I have to do, I can't do it.
Yeah,
I
fair
simply will
enough.
not do it because I'm like, then it's work and I'm not doing it.
Sure.
So that's why my YouTube channel is like empty for 3 months, and then I'll have like 3 videos, and then you won't see me for another 6.
I love
so
it.
That's great.
It's so fun as well because you'll see you like tweet about like just a concept one day or something, and then within like 12 hours or something, they'll be like this great video, and you always put them together so well as well.
They're always so. That animation you did was like,
oh yeah,
absolutely incredible. That's like so amazing. I don't like. How long did that actually take you
Yeah, I
to
was
do
about
that? It
to
would have
ask.
taken so long.
yeah, it took like 2 years. I had a big break. I had a big break, and then I kind of like bunkered down and finished it off.
Wow.
Over like a couple months, but it was a big project. Yeah, I'm a bit crazy when it comes to editing. Like once I start, I have to finish it.
yeah, sure.
I can't. I bunk it down, and then like in 2 days I'll get it done from like concept to finish. Like I have to do it, or it never gets done.
Yeah, no,
Wow.
fair. Did Big Finish? I know they like tweeted about it. I think the animation. Did they ever like reach out to you like independently and say like, nice?
No, which is good because I was worried they'd try and like copyright strike me or get it taken down.
Sure,
But
yeah.
I think
I
them
see.
retweeting it, and Nicholas Briggs, who directed Out of Time, even posted it as well and said how good it was. So I was like, okay, I have the seal of approval. They're not going to hate me because I did everything right. I said, there's no audio here.
Yeah, there was
just
no.
sync it yourself. You have to buy it.
Yeah, you have to actually.
So I
Yeah, you
think I
bought the
was
copy.
in
Yeah.
safe space.
Yeah, you totally did it the right way. It's just awesome what you did. That's
Yeah.
so.
Oh, it was like
Thank you.
unreal. It's so like when you come up with ideas for videos, like does it come out the blue in your head, or do you have like ideas of stuff you want to do, and then like you're like, I'll do that in the future, and then when the time's ready, do you work on it, or do you just kind of like pull them out the blue?
All of the above, really. If it excites me and then I can hyperfixate on it, then they're the best videos. They're the ones that usually do really well.
Right.
Because it's like a more niche idea that excites me. Like the Nightmare Fair one, like my most recent video, that was something I'm like, this is what I feel like talking about right now.
Yeah.
But then you'll have like missing episodes. The more recent one where I did like how they came back or something like that. that was something that I'd started writing like 2 years ago and it never got done. And I was like,
Right.
eventually I'll do this huge project. And I did. And then I forgot what it's called. I don't remember my videos after they're done. They're out of my brain.
That's awesome. Yeah, we should say here that if no one has, well, I'm sure some people have, but if you haven't heard of or seen any of Josh's videos, they are awesome and you can find them on their YouTube channel. It's a really cool place to be and you should get around it. I'll link it down below.
In the Maliption.
In the Maliption below, as
Yeah.
it says.
I feel like I could just like pick your brain all night. I just have so many questions. I just like, yeah, I'm just such a huge fan. I love it. Because like, I just love creators and I feel like your content's so great. And I mean, like, do you feel like, I know you did that series a while ago about those like, you did like those mysteries, you know, that series you did, you know, you grew you grew the moustache. I love the moustache. do you ever think do you think you'll do more content that's away from Doctor Who, or are you going to stick to Who for a bit?
It's so hard because like YouTube is designed to tell you that if you're not doing exactly what it wants, that you're a terrible person and you're a terrible creator.
Yeah.
And it's so you feel like, oh, I can't do this or I can't do that because the algorithm will tell me off for it. Because like even when, let's say example, I would do something like the unexplained and I would do something that's out of my scope. If I'm trying to please the algorithm again and I'll do a video that it wants me to do, it won't give me the views because I've been bad.
Right.
You know, it's like vindictive. It's like angry at you.
Naughty Josh.
So you know, I'm not against doing something like that again, but I have no plans at the moment. I don't know, like. It depends, like, what do you want to do YouTube for? Do you want to make content people are actually interested in, or do you want to make stuff that you're interested in? Is there a middle ground? I don't know, sometimes it feels like you're just screaming at the void. I don't know, I haven't figured out what I want.
Don't worry, Josh.
And I don't think I ever will.
We scream at the void for an hour every week. Is really our pitch.
I listen. I'm part of the void.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I have so many questions. But I'm sorry. I don't mean to nerd out and like pick your brain too much, but yeah. I mean, like I saw the other day you tweeted about how I found this so interesting. I think it's like this is why you're so unique and I think amazing. Is that like, you know, you made that tweet about how like someone contacts you about doing a sponsor and you're like, the second I take a sponsor, it feel like work.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
That's so like, I mean, that's amazing that you would like, you know, because obviously like I know we're not ever in it for the money, but I guess like, you know, I guess we would say like, you know, if we can make a couple of bucks on the side, that's nice. But the fact that like, I think that's pretty amazing that you're just like, nah, this will feel like work if I have to like throw in a sponsor. I just thought like, not really a question to ask you, but I just more thought that was like, that's what makes you like so great. I think it's like you would do something like that. I just think that's yeah.
You know what you want.
Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a strict like work-life balance, and as soon as it's tilted, I lose my mind.
Yeah.
So like I need to find that distinction. I need that YouTube needs to be my hobby. I need it to be something that's fun.
Right.
Because when it starts to feel like work, I don't enjoy it, and then what's the point of it? And I'm just making content no one could possibly want to watch. Or it's like topped 5 things I hate about Doctor Who and why it should be cancelled. And I'm like, I don't want to make that type of stuff because I know it would get clicks. If I made videos about how it's the end of Doctor Who, I could get way more views, but would that make me happy as a person? Do I want to start controversy? Do I want an angry comment section? Do I want a bunch of angry people coming and telling me how awful I am? No, I don't want that. For what? Just like for a few more money in my AdSense? No, what's the point of that?
Yeah, totally. No, that's fair.
Yeah, it's an interest in making the content that you're happy with. I think it's such a huge thing for like a creator to do, and it's I think once you find that balance and when like you find an audience, and you know, I think a channel's audience is a really good indication about what kind of like, you know, content you're making and what kind of person that you are, because like you will get those fans who really do like love you and like care about you, and we're friends with like most of the people who watch our show, and you know, they're just like lovely people, you know.
It's been great to meet. Like I feel like, you know, you get comments that are people that, you know, what we were making fun of before, And those ones are like, I'm just not gonna reply to those. But then if someone says something they want to have a conversation about who and stuff like that, then we'll have a chat back to them, and that's how we've met so many really nice people.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's crazy. If you would have told me that, like, we would have, you know, be talking to Josh or, like, you know, talking to Crispy, like, it's pretty. That was like a goal. Like, it's pretty insane that, like, you know, I'm just really grateful that, you know, I know we both are really grateful that you know, even come on the show.
You're making it sound like I'm this massively famous person. I'm literally
I'm sorry,
exactly the
I'm
same
trying not
as
to
you.
get.
I'm
I'm
literally on the same level. Like, I don't know what you're talking
trying to
about.
get off topic,
You're making it
but
sound like I'm like this massive YouTuber.
I was just really grateful, you know. Like, it's you know, it's an honor. So.
Yeah, big thank you for your sacrificing your evening.
Yes, thank you.
I know it's a bit later for you over there.
Yeah, so it's Adelaide timelines, you know.
All right, let's bring it all back round to the episode that we were meant to be talking about, that we spoke about for about 2 minutes.
That's
But that's
the show.
fine. That's part of it.
That's why we're here.
That's what we do here. Let's do our ratings out of 10 of Attack of the Cybermen, shall we? Mm-hmm. Josh, our lovely guest, would you like to give your rating? Some final wrap-up thoughts first.
I would give it a. Can I do a 6.5? Is that cheating, or do I have to say 7?
No,
No, you can do-
I
you
do
can
that.
do 6.5.
I've given like 6.75s and stuff like that when I can't make my
Ooh.
mind up. So
All right,
6.5.
then I want 6.29
Okay. I love it.
because
So-
I want to destroy your entire sheet. I'm sorry.
That's fine. I'll just cry. Connor.
I'm gonna give it a 5.
A 5, okay. Yeah.
You know what? Enjoyable, but didn't grab me as much as I would have liked.
Yeah.
But it was really interesting to see Colin, because I really was keen to do a Colin story for the show and to actually sit down and finally watch one in full. So that was really cool. It was cool to see Perry finally, and I always love seeing the Cybermen rock up, especially in
very
classic era. It's really fun. So yeah, 5.
Yeah.
A 5.
You got to hear that catchphrase again.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, you don't even know what the catchphrase is, do you?
Delete. Thank you, everybody.
Excellent.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Right,
it's
okay.
great. And they always do this like hand grab thing. Excellent.
All right, we got it.
Strong hashtag.
I like their other quote, which I don't think people talk about enough, which is "destroy them,
Yeah,
destroy
yeah,
them
that's
at
right.
once." That's iconic. I think that's better.
That is good.
I love that.
That is good. I don't know why people thought that excellent was a good quote for the Cybermen. Like, I was like looking at it, and then I was like, these guys, and I was looking at them in the 60s, and I was like, you wouldn't see them like 60s Cybermen, right? Going,
Nah.
do they even talk? They have like really mechanical. It's like way more like the voice of death,
yeah.
right? Back then,
Right, yeah.
I think.
It was quite, yeah.
Oh, World Enough in Time. It's in there.
Yes, well enough time, and Dr. Falls and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 6. I might be being kind. I'm not sure. I really wasn't into it my first watch, and then rewatching it, I found a little bit more fun in
I don't
it.
know how you watched it twice, like, you know, well done.
Yeah, well, because I watched those two, and then I watched the first part of Vengeance of Varos. That's the next story, right? And I was like, similar to Attack of the Cybermen. It's very dark. It's an interesting one.
Okay.
Yes.
But and I just wasn't into it, and I was like, I don't want to I want to find stuff to like in this season, like, because I know it's so easy, like it's the common thing to do to like bitch about this sort of era of Who, and I'm like, I want to find stuff that I like, and I really loved Colin and Nicola. I thought they were both really good in it.
A respectful fan, we love it.
I try.
That's us.
I love Vengeance on Varos.
Yeah?
I think it's Philip Martin's best script for the show. I would arguably say his only good script for the show. I love Vengeance on Varos. I think it's like really dark, but it's not too. I just like its commentary. I think it's a bit more contemporary for the time, I would say.
What else has he written?
He wrote that Seal story for season Mind Warp in
Yes.
Trial and Time Lords. So
Okay.
the one with Seal.
I struggled with that one.
And then he also wrote the real-time spin-off Seal, Devil Seeds of Parador,
Which
which
I know what that is. Yeah.
is interesting. I'm not going to say anything else because I've already upset the director.
Oh
by my
no.
comments.
Oh, really?
But that's because I was mean. Yeah, I was mean. I
my
was too
God.
harsh.
Oh no.
But I didn't think he'd watch my video.
Oh my God,
But
wow.
he seems like a lovely guy.
Yeah.
So I didn't really mean anything personal, but I think I was probably a bit too harsh. So I was trying to be funny.
Yeah.
And I think I just came off mean.
Yeah, sure.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, that is a.
That's my
Seal-
worst fear is that I'll say something and then someone watches it and gets upset.
We've got to get you to see Seal one time.
Sure.
'Cause that is Seal is an experience.
That
Seal
film
is,
Seal?
Yeah.
Just the character
I-
in general. Is,
I know
Interesting.
the film. I haven't watched it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have it on Blu-ray. I bought the Blu-ray.
They do a
So
whole
I think
bunch
that
of
should
like.
absolve me from any.
Yeah, from any- yeah, exactly.
Because I paid money directly to
Yeah.
They've made a bunch of like kind of spin-offy things that aren't like unofficial spin-offs, right? That's like their thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
interesting.
think Downtime's their best.
Yeah.
Um,
What one's that spin-off from?
it has the Yeti in it. Sarah Jane's in it. A bunch of people. It's fun.
Yeah, it's
Bring
crazy
Dia.
how they got some of the characters and actors, right? Because Ace does one, right? Is that in the Seal one? Or am I making that up?
Yeah, she's in Seal, but she plays someone else.
Yeah. How do they get away with that as like an unofficial?
So they get the license to use the characters.
Okay.
So they would go to Philip Martin, who can say, "Oh, can I use Seal?" And he'd be like, "Yep, give me money." But he wrote that story, so there was an added level of it as well. So yeah, the BBC back in the classic series had weird rights where they could literally license out a character. The writer who wrote it, they own the character.
Yeah. Wow.
Whereas like nowadays, it's a bit stricter. I don't think the BBC would allow someone to use the Weeping Angels, for example. I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
It would be really hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
It's such a crazy show. I love it.
It is a
That's
crazy
why Doctor
show.
Who's so good. It has so many like it's just different lore and it's great.
Yeah, that's what's really good
Yeah.
about Classic Who as well. There's so much to talk about, and I hope one day New Who will be like the same when we like know
I think
all
so.
the ins and outs of
I think so. I
Yeah.
reckon. Yeah, I reckon we'll have. I reckon it will be.
some hot goss.
I want the hot goss. Yeah,
Some
for
hot
sure.
goss. Josh, thank you so much for spending your time with us this evening. It has
Thank
been
you very
great to
much.
have you
Thank
on.
you so much for having me.
No worries.
This is the part where you get to hear our horrific rendition.
Yeah.
Have you listened to that far in the pods to hear?
Oh,
us?
you bet.
Oh
I'm very
no!
excited.
Oh no!
I'm so excited.
This is a work. It's a work of art. You know.
Josh, did you want to plug anything? Is there anything people should look out for?
I allegedly have a YouTube channel which I sometimes, if ever, upload a video to. Will there be any in the future? Who knows? But there is currently content from the past.
I love it.
So if you want to listen to my YouTube stuff, go ahead.
Very good.
Thank you so much.
Very good content.
Oh
Thank
God,
you very
this
much,
is
Josh.
this is always
You're
the
gonna
best
sing.
bit.
Josh, do feel free to sing along.
We love it.
Oh, please.
Oh God.
I did the beginning one, so I'm happy with that.
Oh God.
Let's go.
Okay.
You ready?
All right. Oh my God.
Let's go.
And a one and a two. Sorry, it's killy diddly do. It's Aiden and Connor's podcast. They're doing Doctor Who reviews. Doing Doctor Who review. Do. Hey.
We can never have like
Embarrassing.
an industry guest, like a director from Doctor Who on and
Rachel Slowly.
sing this in front of them, right?
They'd love it.
How horrific.
They'd be
Oh,
like, "This
yeah.
is the best show I've
Rachel
ever been
would
on."
love it.
She'd be dancing, doing the
Yeah.
worm. I think that she'd love it. She's wacky.
She'd love it.
She'd
Hold
love
on,
it.
guys. My favorite podcast.
Rachel's cool.
Yeah, Rach would. I think Rach would. She'd come on. I think she would.
She's a very busy lady.
So are we.
She's making Doctor Who.
She's doing Doctor Who. Yeah, we can get her on. We can get her to review Heaven Sent, or an episode.